beginning, you said fine art and applied art. Can you just specify what is the difference between fine art and applied art?
Yeah. Fine art is doing something for my own joy,
Huh.
to put it in a layman's language.
Hmm.
I paint whatever I love to paint.
Hmm.
My sky could be green, gray, whatever the way I like.
Hmm.
But applied art is something which I do for a client, that
Okay.
is a company. It is according to their audience, their
Hmm.
target segment. So it
Hmm.
could be a company which has got edible oil, it could be a company which has got an educational institution, and it could be the same company
Hmm.
which is selling tea. But the three products are so different. So when I think that the brand name is the same, but when I'm looking at the same company selling edible oil, I have to think from that clientele point of that perspective. I can't create anything just because I love to create it. Not only do I have to think of, the consumer, but in which city is that consumer? So that really matters. And fine art, that is not the question. I just paint, I just create, whether it is sculpture, painting, whatever I do, it's for my joy, for my expression. I come first. And when you're thinking of applied art, it
Client
is, it is the audience, not even the client.
audience.
Who is the client talking to? Is it
Got it.
toddlers? Is it teenage girls, teenage boys? Who?
Got it. In this entire journey of 40 years, what was that shift, internal or external, that made you realize what exactly wellness meant to you?
The shift came because I came into academics. And since 2005, I'm there and I'm teaching students. Yeah, Flame began in 2007. But since 2007, so it could be like 18, 19 years. And I'm observing students day in and day out because I live on campus. And the contrast I could see, the difference in me having very high potential to focus, whether on my research, whether in my poetry, whether in my paintings, whether in my design, anything. And the generation having a lack of focus.
Correct.
So fidgety, so fidgety. For 2 minutes, they can't sit in one place, just focusing on what anybody is saying. And I found that, you could literally see it in their eyes when you're talking to somebody, when a person is really listening to you with attention and not listening to you. You can immediately understand that. So I could sense that so well in a class. And I felt that, we have all witnessed a pandemic, COVID, wherein you could see people who are ill, in the hospitals because it was being shown and you were feeling it all over in the city where you are. But this pandemic is an unseen pandemic of a lack of focus, and that is so vast and that is all around the world. And I need to come up with some solution which ties together engagement first, because the youth have to be engaged into something. Then the education comes, wherein the knowledge comes.
Yeah.
Because if they are not engaged only, they will not be willing to listen to me.
Yeah.
So the knowledge or the gyan can't come in the first step, which I felt. I felt the engagement should come first, then the knowledge, and then social impact. So how do I bring about an initiative which ties together these three words of engagement, education, and social impact? And that sowed the seeds of wonders of wellness.
Wow.
Thank you.
Nice. So given your background in design and art, how did you come to see them as tools for wellness and mindfulness rather than just like an aesthetic, disciplines? Because nobody would have thought ki, art can be used for wellness, or I mean, there are art therapies and all, mindfulness and wellness.
So you use the word therapy. I never use the word. These are 4 words which I refrain from because my audience is from the age group of 17 to 25. There are some students who come from the family background, from family backgrounds which are very open, receptive to the words of, therapy or spirituality or religion or meditation. But there is a larger ocean of students who are very averse to these words. So I'm addressing those students who are not very receptive to these words. Then how do I talk to them in a language which is speaking the same thing. The essence is the same, but it is packaged in such a way that they don't realize that this is exactly what I'm trying to tell them. For many years, I believed that yoga means doing asanas on a mat. Until I read the Bhagavad Gita and I read the Patanjali Yoga Sutras. So the Patanjali Yoga Sutras say, Yoga chitta vritti nirodha.
Yeah.
Any activity which puts a full stop to your jumping monkey mind, for you that is yoga. In the Bhagavad Gita, the second chapter, 50th shloka says, Yoga karmasu kaushalam. Any activity which has got high-end skill, that is yoga. Because to do that, you have to focus. You have to focus on the line. You have to focus in filling the colors in that particular space. So in that, you forget. You lose trace of time in that engagement. So that gave me another perspective, and that was what I was doing for the past 30, 40 years. And that brought in an internal stillness within me and a clarity, because at all point of time, there was immense clarity in my thinking, which helped me as a designer, as an entrepreneur, as a faculty doing so many administrative roles to take faster decisions. And that's what all leadership posts demand.
Yeah.
Once you are on that role, every day, day in and day out, you are going to be faced by multiple challenges. If there is a clutter in your mind, in your brain, it is like, driving on a road with many potholes or many speed breakers, vis-a-vis driving on a road with no potholes and no speed breakers. To make this example more clear to. So I always felt like that there is so much immense clarity, and I attribute that to my practice of art. And that's where I see the link. For hours, I used to sit painting or doing calligraphy, and that in a way just calmed me down internally so much and rendered so much of clarity that I could easily permeate through multiple diverse domains of knowledge, which are so different. When you think of me as a designer or as an artist, as a poet, you wouldn't think of me writing in a journal of, say, carbon neutrality or cleaner production or marketing 5.0 or computers and industrial engineering, which is so far away from a common man's perception of seeing a designer or an artist. But I'm not looking at that from that perspective. I'm looking at it from knowledge. And all knowledge is one, provided you have clarity to meander. And thank you. And my practice in art gave me this clarity. So this is the message. Like, you have gone to the Himalayas, or you ride, you drive. I don't know what is that experience of riding or driving or going to the Himalayas, but you can speak of it with conviction.
Yeah.
So today I can speak of my endeavors with conviction, because I'm practicing it day in and day out, and I'm seeing the merits of it. So there is conviction in my say, and my students see it in the different activities which I do. So there is no doubt. It is not like any course I have done going somewhere. It is my own experience which I have packaged into the initiative.